Let's move slightly to the south, because Tunisia is investing more than $100 million in American-made Javelin missiles. The sale to a non-NATO ally is designed to help the North African state defend its territorial sovereignty. Morocco recently made a similar investment. This despite concerns Tunisia has reverted to autocracy under the current president, Kais Saied. Well, let's get more on that with Alyssa Pavia. She's Associate Director at the North Africa Programme at the Atlantic Council. Good to see you, Alyssa. So, first of all, why does Tunisia need this kind of weapon in the first place?
Hi, Laura. It's great to be back. Well, Tunisia is now in an interesting spot, just like a lot of the North African countries, because it is bordering with the Sahel. And the Sahel, we know, is engulfed in and mired by political tensions and coups, and a number of very of terrorist organizations are emerging. And so these can pose a significant threat to Tunisia and neighboring countries as well.
And is the US looking to develop closer ties with Tunisia as it is with Morocco?
So the relationship with Tunisia on the counterterrorism side has been quite strong already since 2015. Like you mentioned, Tunisia is a non-NATO major ally. Okay, and what this means is that Tunisia has access to a number of defense-related tasks and issues. And so what this means is that there's a strong relationship between the US and Tunisia on the counterterrorism side. So the US will want to continue on that relationship and continue providing that support to Tunisia, because the US does see these terrorist organizations as a threat to its interests as well, but also because, as we're seeing great power competition continue in North Africa, the US wants to maintain the stronghold when it comes to Tunisia, so that it can maintain that alliance strong and not allow countries like Russia or China to overwhelm the Americans.
Well, in the past, the Americans have linked progress on human rights to weapons sales. Egypt immediately springs to mind. But we are seeing repression worsen in Tunisia. That seems not to be a concern this time.
It is a concern. So people in Washington are discussing the ongoing crackdown on political opposition, the ongoing crackdown on democratic institutions. When Kais Saied initiated his coup in 2021, he did use military tanks, and that many critics argued that were funded by US dollars and worried about that. And there has been growing concern and talks about decreasing funding to the military and defense expenditure in Tunisia. However, right now, it seems as though the opportunities outweigh the risks for the United States, and so they're keen to maintain that relationship going when it comes to counterterrorism and in general security issues. But they are cutting costs on other projects. They're cutting costs on USAID projects and other democracy-related funding projects, precisely because of the crackdown on democracy.
Alyssa, thank you very much. Great to talk to you as always. Alyssa Pavia there.
Hi, Laura.